boy. Shuba-duba-dai. This blessed country, O land of beauty, I pray for thee. Some people have that wrong philosophy that politicians can save a country. They never try and do it spiritually. And now this system exploding on we. The country in a recession, a big change from the old time religion. Mankind rewriting history in a modern but a bad version. We living in our final days. Take a look and change your ways. For our beautiful country, going back to slavery days, only a prayer for the land can stop drug violence and crime. A prayer for the land, yes, these are the signs of the end of time. A prayer for the land, the price of living, man, is so high. A prayer for the land, that even the rich like the poor cry. You say you're concerned and care, we country living in fear, but all are we born right here. So let's say a prayer, the Almighty Father will hear. And I see, did and bad one boy. Shuba-duba-dai. Oh God Almighty, show some mercy on this our country. Moral standard gone way down the drain. Little children using rum, crack and cocaine. It seems like wicked-itions gone insane. And everyone playing the dirty game. Too much guns and drugs in the country, owned by Tom, Dick and Harry. But if you're wrong, you must pay for it. For the law, no one above it. Put an end to victimization, oppression, and segregation. It's not a good thing for this country, so let's try and wipe it out totally with a prayer for the land, of fire and brimstone go burn with it. A prayer for the land, some say they're picking out who should get paid. A prayer for the land, and that's why the prisoners burn down the jail. A prayer for the land, one day it must prevail. Please don't let this country become an next Haiti. No peace, no unity. Bow down humbly, the Almighty will answer we. Oh yeah.
Hear the Lord, shout the Lord.
Shuba-duba-dai. Oh God Almighty, show some mercy on this our country. They now call we terror Paradise Island. No longer a country where peace abound. Yes, I used to boast about my land of beauty, the freest nation with democracy. But now we are the capital for drug pushers and money launderers. Shame and scandal is on we, take it state tarnish universally. Some blame it on the politicians for the unstabilized conditions. We going from bad to worse, our blessed country now cursed. But a prayer for the land, will help us to live with other people. I pray for the land, for that's why the nation in big trouble. I pray for the land, united we stand, divided we fall. I pray for the land, citizens answer your duty call. Righteousness exalts the nation. The most I hate poor man depression. So I'm calling on everyone to take a stand. Take it, listen to my song. Did a bad over boy.
Shout the Lord, shout the Lord.
Shuba duba die. What? This blessed country, oh land of beauty, I pray for thee.
Sound of the King Craig coming to you live and direct here from the DJ Marish's platform. I'm DJ Marish and I'm coming to you this evening from a remote location. Yes, this evening I had to relocate to a new location due to the fact that there's no electricity in my neighborhood, in my neck of the woods there, I understand, from since 10 o'clock this morning. So to ensure that I come to you live this evening, I had to seek refuge at a remote location here. I cannot really tell you where I'm at because I do not know why the electricity is out. I do not know if they're trying to stop the DJ from coming live this evening. But I am here with you, live and lively, and I'll be bringing the usual information to you this evening. Just before I do that, let me just drop a few clips here that you will know what this program is all about. Stand by.
Wednesday evenings are heating up. Log on to DJ Marish's Facebook Live broadcast every Wednesday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. It's a frank and candid exploration into the social, cultural, political, and economic issues affecting our federation. And just in case you missed it, you can also catch the broadcast on his YouTube channel, DJ Marish. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube and smash that bell. You will be notified whenever he goes live. DJ Marish, every Wednesday evening, Facebook 6 to 8 p.m. or thereafter on his YouTube channel, DJ Marish. Log on.
Yes, you heard it right. Every Wednesday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. You can catch me right here on the Facebook Live DJ Marish Show, coming to you following this broadcast. It'll be uploaded to YouTube. As I said, I'm coming to you from a remote location this evening, as there's no electricity in my neck of the woods. So I will not be disclosing where I'm coming from to you this evening. But I am not at the Gaza this evening. However, I'm in the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis, coming to you live. Let's take a quick listen to my boy Cabo over there in Fountain, Nevis.
Cabo's, located at Fountain Village in Nevis, is the go-to spot for your Saturday treats. Tantalize your taste buds with his delectable Cabo's Delicacy Goat Water. Or, if you prefer some soul food, then Cabo's Fungi and Fish is definitely the way to go. Call ahead and reserve at 869-663-9694. Then make your way over to Cabo's and enjoy the vibrant atmosphere while you savor your delicacy. Cabo's, we are not changing, we are only improving.
Food all over, food all over, you got the food all over.
Yes, you heard it right. Food all over the Federation, food all over Fountain there, Nevis, full all over the island of Nevis, because Cabo now offers a delivery service around the island of Nevis, also St. Kitts. All you have to do is reach out to Cabo in advance and let him know what you need for your wedding, your parties, or you just want to taste those goat water, fungi, and fish, whatever. Let him know DJ Marish sent you, and Cabo will definitely take care of you. Now let's take a listen to Sister Carmen.
Girl Sandra, you know where you can find nice fresh local food 7 days a week, one provision and all kind of thing. Girl, where? Right down there by Shellings, by Carmen Catering Services. Girl, she opposite the bus stop. Girl, and she also cater for weddings, parties, anything you want to cater for, funeral and all. Girl, and trust me, you're gonna enjoy the food. And she also selling bites and Sundays. Opposite the car shop, right down the main road. Girl, you could call 665-1494 or 663-6005 to order your food or go and pick up your food. Girl, the food will be finger licking and you get your money worth. You ain't want nothing better than that.
You heard it right, and come into some lovely dishes there, some definitely lovely dishes. And I look forward to enjoying my lunch from Carmen, very clean and lovely chef. Carmen also does delivery service, so you can give Carmen a call or check out the Ensure Lane right across from the ferry terminal in downtown Bastille, the West Side Ferry Terminal there, from Monday to Saturday from midday until about 5 p.m. And then on Sundays over there in the Boyd's Village and the bus stop area there across from the Ogaro shop. And whenever you go there and you see Brother Ogaro open, you know, just feel free to ask him to give DJ Marish a call. DJ Marish will definitely come by and have a drink and hang out with you guys for a bit. Let me take a quick listen here to my boy Malvern Gums there of the Spectrum Band St. Thomas USBI.
Hey, this is Malvern from Spectrum Band, and you're listening to DJ Marish playing you the best in Caribbean music.
You got that right.
Hey, this is Malvern from Spectrum Band, and you're locked into DJ Marish. Keep it locked.
Right there. And you know, when Malvern speaks from experience. The DJ always bring you the good things. And my good people, I just want you to know this evening that the good folks there at the Island Purified Water is keeping the DJ hydrated. I want to thank Brother Powell there, the man Scatter, and his team there at the Island Purified Water in Newton Ground St. Kitts for keeping the DJ hydrated here on a weekly basis. So let's take another quick listen to the clip that you would know what this program is all about. And then I'm going to have a serious track to drop because I want you citizens of St. Kitts Nevis to take a serious, deep, self-searching venture. My boy Saah, out of the Green Valley area there, Keon, by way of Virgin Garden, sang a tune some years ago. Changing of governments doesn't mean the system will change once you have the functionaries there still undermining the system and doing things wrong. So I'm going to drop this clip. I'm going to drop my boy Saah, and I'm also going to drop Brother Dwyer Astavan's commentary for today, June 5th, 2024. So take a listen one more time that you will know what this program is all about on a Wednesday evening.
Wednesday evenings are heating up. Log on to DJ Marishall's Facebook Live broadcast every Wednesday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. It's a frank and a candid exploration into the social, cultural, political, and economic issues affecting our federation. And just in case you missed it, you can also catch the broadcast on his YouTube channel, DJ Marishall. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube and smash that bell. You will be notified whenever he goes live. DJ Marishall, every Wednesday evening, Facebook 6 to 8 p.m. or thereafter on his YouTube channel, DJ Marishall. Log on.
Yes, you heard it right there. You take a listen to this program on a Wednesday evening, and I encourage you to give your input. Don't just stay online and listen to the DJ talking the things. Give your input online, put in your comments, let me know what you think of certain things, what can change, what need to be changed, your experience when you go to these offices, and whether or not you are seeing the progress that you expect to see for a change of government. Remember, we are 22 months into a Labour administration, and by now, some of our citizens should have been seeing some improvement in their lives. And we just want to be fair to the politician. As a matter of fact, this evening, I will give some updates from my perspective of what I'm seeing and my own experience. But you, the people, you must know what you're seeing and what you're feeling. So let's take a quick listen to the man, King Saah. This one is called No Change Until.
There's no change until we work on no problem. Come with I. We want a change, that's the cry through the federation. Change in a government does not mean this country will change. Every 5 years, it's a government change. But their country does always remain the same. They don't still have drugs and crime in the country. They don't still have guns and teenage pregnancy. Change your government is not the solution. Citizens, we have to start to live together as one. We have to start to think about unity. I for you and you for me. That is how this country should be. So if we really wanna change the region, we have to start to see some good things happen. Say like this, when we go and tell our children, say no to drugs, guns and violence, then this country will change. I say then this country will change. When we see Simmons having breakfast one morning in town with you Douglas, then this country will change. I say then this country will change. When we stop all of this drug trafficking, then we would see the change. Changing up of one government does not mean the country doesn't change. Citizens, do you understand? Do you get my message now? Do you? Come with I. We always go and create problems in our country. Then we want our government to come and solve it for we. If a bad man, he go out and bring in guns, why we should go and blame it on our government? We would go and say, if our party was ever ruling, those kind of things would never be happening. Change your attitude, I'm asking you, citizen. It's we the people who does pull our country down. This is time to straighten up our land. Live in peace and harmony. We got to respect the Constitution. So if we really wanna change in this island, we have to start to work on our problems. Say like this, when we see Timothy and Hailey go saying Merry Christmas to each other, then this country will change. I said then this country will change. When we stop import foreign items and sell local goods to the tourists them, then this country would change. I said then this country would change. If we turn our back on the sugar cane, then you would see the change. Changing up of one government does not mean the country would change. Citizens, do you understand? Do you get my message now? Do you hear me? Come with I. We gone to the poll and we voting a new government. Then after 2 years, there's a lot of cussing for them. When things going good, we smile and take it easy. When things going bad, we build from the canary. We does regret that we ever vote in that party. When we see things is not going too good for we. Yes, it's we who have to turn this country around. Citizens, we don't have to wait upon no politician. Why must wait till 5 years for election? It's today we do it wrong. It's today we should correct them. So if we really wanna change in the region, we have to start to make the change on our own. Like this, when we build our one new hospital and build more school for the children then, this country will change. I said then this country will change. When we put down some more good hotels and prepare our land for tourism, this country will change. I said then the country will change. When you pick Saah in finals again, then you would see the change. Changing up of one government does not mean the country would change. Do you get the message? Lord and Atlas, do you get the message? Do you get the message? Kenyan people, do you get the message? Do you get the message? Sandy Pine, do you get the message? Do you get the message? Simple people, do you get the message? Do you get the message? Tabernacle, do you get the message? Do you get the message? Canary, do you get the message? Do you get the message? Molyneux, do you get the message? Do you get the message? Newtown people, do you get the message? Do you get the message? Village people, do you get the message? Do you get the message? Sadler's people, do you get the message?
Sounds of the King Saah there. Do you get that message? It's a revolving door with our political atmosphere in our beloved federation. You go and you elect a government 2 years into the season for a 5-year term. They're cussing. They want everything to happen all at once. Saah is saying, no, we got to do better than this. We have to pay attention to what is really taking place. So my good people, again, changing a government is one thing, but if those functionaries stay in place, the problem continues. So we have to demand that our ministers, when they're elected to office, that they make those necessary changes. Without those changes, you, the people, you, the citizens, we, the citizens, gonna continue to suffer because some of them think they own the place, you know. You see some of them sitting behind their desks and pushing up their mouth, and you're talking to them, they're putting on blush and lipstick and on their phone. They're not even giving you the courtesy to listen to what you're saying, because whatever you're saying don't mean nothing to them. It's not registering, no empathy. And then who look bad? The politician them. Yes, I know we have some bad politicians out there. We experienced that in the former administration. That is why we are where we are today with a new government. But We got to do better with these functionaries, and we have to put our foot down. As a matter of fact, later on in the program, as I progress, I'll explain more on that particular situation. But in the meantime and between time, let's take a quick listen to my brother there, the man J.A. Dwyer Astafan commentary for today.
Greetings. While in a supermarket last week, I noticed two ladies shopping together and putting a lot of items in their cart. And I asked them if they were cooking for a restaurant. They said no, they were teachers. And they were shopping to feed a number of their students who come to school hungry every morning. And that really hit me. How is it that children in St. Kitts, in this day and age, are going to school hungry? Yes, some of us parents take our money and spend it on things that are far less important than our children. It's also true that too many of us parents are emotionally and otherwise ill-equipped to provide the right guidance so that the next generation will be stable and productive and able to deal with the challenges and opportunities of adulthood and responsible citizenship. Also, we cannot deny that too many of us, men and women, are lightning fast to engage in sexual intercourse, but are unwilling, unable, or ill-equipped to deal with the consequences. Then we become liabilities. We become liabilities rather than assets, as often do the children. And we must admit also that we often make bad choices in choosing partners for sexual and other relationships. Further, the politics of dependency, entitlement, underproductivity, and irresponsibility has not helped. In fact, it is leading us to hell in a handbasket. Yet, with all of that said, there'll be people who genuinely need help to get by. So in response to what those two ladies said to me, I sent out a WhatsApp broadcast in the hope that I would get some people to contribute. I myself committed to contribute. The very first response came from a gentleman, friend of mine, in the form of 3 letters, CBI, Citizenship by Investment. My interpretation of his response was, and let me assure you, this gentleman is one of the kindest, most compassionate persons I've ever met, but he's frustrated and he's angry. My interpretation of his response was this: why should children in St. Kitts be going to school hungry when all of that money passed through our CBI program and was more than enough, not just to feed our children, but to position the country in a strong place? He and others are disgusted with the thought that such squandermania and looseness, and I could use other words, but I won't, have taken place, with a few persons creaming off money like crazy while children can't go to school with something in their tummies. So let us focus on the CBI. This is a good time to do so. Actually, any time is a good time to do so, but perhaps more so now that 2 lawsuits are out there. One commenced in the United States, brought against a number of persons here and overseas, and the other commenced here in St. Kitts against the government, asking the court to order the government to revoke all Chinese jail project passports that were issued, although the minimum investment amount set by law was not paid. I've been discussing this CBI with you for years, and with matters now appearing to come to the boil, perhaps a little repetition might help. Let's go back to the year 2006, when the Sugar Industry Diversification Foundation, SIDF, was approved by Cabinet and set up by the National Trust Company, which is 100% owned by the National Bank, which itself is 51% owned by the government. The SIDF was set up to receive contributions from foreigners at a minimum of US $200,000. In exchange for the contributions, applicants would be eligible to apply for citizenship if they satisfied the due diligence requirements. Part of the rationale for setting it up under the National Trust Company instead of under the government umbrella was, in my opinion, to keep the business out of the government's consolidated accounts and out of the reach of Parliament, even out of the reach of the Cabinet, which in the first place had to approve it. In other words, Cabinet approved an arrangement which took away critical authority from itself and from the Parliament. That in itself speaks unflatteringly for the judgment and backbone of the Cabinet at the time, a Cabinet of which I was a member. I was very uncomfortable with that decision, and I was, of course, very vocal, expressing my discomfort with it. Another aspect of the arrangement that made me uncomfortable was the deal, and this was set out in the Cabinet submission, that government would give a Swiss company a worldwide exclusive right to promote and market the SIDF product. And I'm told that the Swiss company would receive a commission of $20,000 for each successful application. In addition, of course, to fees which it would get from clients who it introduced to the program. In addition to this worldwide exclusive deal being, in my opinion, offensive and wrong, the fee was too high. I could see a fee maybe of $2,000 per application for the first year, then maybe a flat fee of $1 million a year thereafter, especially considering that the Swiss company was also making money representing applicants to the program. But just as importantly, I found it more than a little odd that government would be deciding that a commission of $20,000 of money due to a non-governmental entity, the SIDF, would be paid to the Swiss company as a commission. Under what authority could Cabinet decide that money payable by a non-governmental entity be paid to another non-governmental entity? How could Cabinet decide that for the SIDF? Do the records of the SIDF or the Swiss company or the National Trust Company show that this arrangement was formally agreed to? I have no idea, and I was in the Cabinet. Just to complete the information picture, the people who administered the SIDF were appointed by the Prime Minister or by the National Trust on the advice of the Prime Minister. The whole thing made me uncomfortable. This deal continued until 2013, and my guess is that in those 7 years, at least 2,500 SIDF applications were successfully processed, which by my calculation means that the Swiss company could have received as much as $50 million just by commissions. In my opinion, from all angles, this was a bad deal for the people of this country, and millions of dollars that went outside should have been put to the service and benefit of our people. Then in 2013, the deal with the Swiss company was ended, and a new promoter out of the UK was engaged, and also given a worldwide promotional exclusive. And I'm told at least one diplomatic passport. That deal was revised a few times over the years, the most recent revision coming in May 2022, just 3 months before the last election. Under that last revision, the UK company would receive a commission of US $5,000 for each successful application under the alternative investment option, which later would include the public good option, for example, the jail project, and a commission of $10,900 for each successful application under the Sustainable Growth Fund option. As we hear and see of more cases of Chinese and other persons holding our passports, getting themselves into trouble with the law in the US or the UK and elsewhere, and even going back to earlier times, and not even restricted to economic citizenships, but also citizenships by marriage, it makes one wonder whether some stakeholders were more interested in applications being approved than in applicants being properly vetted. Makes one wonder whether more citizenships were issued than should have been issued due to less than thorough due diligence. And perhaps these two cases now before the court in the United States and here in St. Kitts will help to reveal the truth on this. So let's look at the situation with the UK-based promoter. Let us presume that between 2013 and the present, 20,000 citizenship applications were approved. And of those 20,000, 15,000 have been applications under a contribution option. And let us presume that for each successful application, the UK-based people got $5,000. That means that they would have gotten, between 2013 and now, $75 million from our CBI. From the Chinese jail alone, maybe as much as 27 million US dollars. If you add these figures between the Swiss and the UK companies, you get a total of 125 million US. I don't mind expending 25 million over 14, 15, 20 years for promotion, but not 125 million. In my view, that is excessive. The 125 say minus the 25 million which one can support leaves 100 million. 100 million US dollars is more than enough money to ensure that none of our children go to school on empty stomachs. Indeed, it is more than enough to improve the lots of all petitions and divisions. Meanwhile, the updated agreement signed by the Harris administration in May of 2022 still stands. And all of the members of the Harris cabinet and all of the members of the present cabinet must take responsibility for this. Those who made it happen and those who have kept it alive. Meanwhile, dedicated, loving teachers go into their pockets to feed hungry children at the BHS. And I'm sure other schools in St. Kitts experience the same thing. Our children starve while other people can buy fancy properties, drive fancy cars, wear Rolex watches, put on $5,000 suits, $1,000 shoes, fly first class, and have loads of dollars in the bank off our dime. Reverse Robin Hood. They live large off us while our people suffer. They have food to throw away while our children go hungry. It provides us with the measure of the priorities, the judgment and the character of decision makers. And I don't so much blame the overseas pirates, plunderers and profiteers. I blame our own who allowed this to happen. Let's speak about the Chinese jail project. Again approved by the Harris cabinet, illegally in my opinion, and certainly contrary to the best interests of the people of this country. The Harris cabinet approved 5,500 applications to be sold at a minimum of $175,000 each. Of course, an applicant could be a family man or woman, so each applicant could bring 3 persons along with him or her. So 5,500 applications could yield 22,000 passports. The applications were made not to the government, but to Galaxy, the Chinese company associated with Ramada. By the way, what's happening with Ramada? What's happening with any of the Chinese CBI projects in St. Kitts? What have you gotten out of them? And how did Galaxy get this jail deal? And we are told that a Chinese due diligence company was engaged. Now regarding those Chinese persons holding St. Kitts Nevis passports, being charged with fraud, etc. in the US and the UK, ask yourselves which project they got citizenship under. So the applications were paid to Galaxy and the money was paid to them. The paperwork was sent to government and approvals or refusals would follow. Maybe more approvals than should have been granted. The prison would cost $40 to $50 million. But if Galaxy netted, say, even $50,000 per application, then they would have collected $275 million. Remember, the minimum investment under law was $175. So if Galaxy netted, and I think I'm being conservative, $50,000 per application, they would have made a profit of $225 million US off us. Now, I don't mind a business making a profit, but if you're going to invest $50, $60, $70, $80 million and make over $200 million profit from the deal, especially at the cost of the people of a little country like ours, then I have a problem with that. But who is going to provide the full explanation? Has our CBI been a shining example of transparency over the years? And if the explanation that we need to hear, if the full picture that we need to see, if these things are not going to be forthcoming from our own decision makers, and if we as a group of people don't have the appetite to stand up and force the full story out of them, then maybe someone else should do so. And this is exactly what the MSR company is doing. So maybe the MSR lawsuits will help us where we have not been otherwise helped or helped ourselves. I certainly hope so. And if nobody has done anything wrong, if nobody has sold out the people of St. Kitts and Nevis for 30 pieces of silver or 30 million or 300 million, if nobody has anything to hide, then nobody has anything to worry about. US 200 million from the jail project plus 100 million. that the two exclusive representatives would have collected 300 million US dollars, over 800 million EC dollars, which should have been our money. 800 million gone, but our children are going to school hungry. Think about these things and let the cases be heard. At the end of it all, come to your conclusions. In the meantime, be watchful and do not rush to conclusions.
Yes, that's the commentary for G.A. Dwyer Astafan for today, Wednesday, June 5th. And those concerns that Dwyer raised there is very concerning for me. I mean, I have been saying it for the past years, since 2021, when I started my campaign in the New York area there at the Mission, and came down here to St. Kitts and tried to have some awareness marches here. What is happening in our beloved federation is that we seem like we like knockabout. You know, we like to sit back and watch people knock us about, because hadn't been a change of government in 2022, a lot of the information that we are getting today, we would have never heard of it. Just the same as across the Narrows there in Nevis. I have said time and time again, and I strongly believe it. As bad as things are in St. Kitts, I think it's worse than Nevis. And for whatever reason, the people of Nevis, or the so-called opposition of Nevis that's supposed to be leading the charge for the people, seems to be having a false start time and time again. This MSR situation, it's unfortunate that we are in the position that we are. But when we start doing the blame game, I want to know how this individual over there in Nevis, the Premier of Nevis, the leader of the CCM, the Concerned Citizens Movement, the leader of the federal parliament there, the leader of the opposition in the federal parliament, how is it that this guy finds his way in all kind of trauma and drama, and at his convenience, he could come and tell us he upfront negotiating, and when shit hit the fan, he was out in the yard. He wasn't part of it. Now, I have heard him say time and time again that he brought the MSR team across to Nevis during COVID to start a movie business, a movie franchise. And I listened to some of our talk show hosts in the past week dancing around these concerns and questions when citizens call into their respective radio station. My boy, the Ike, I listened to him and Freedom FM a couple of days ago dancing around when someone asked him who bring MSR to Nevis, and he's saying the NIA. Now, Ike, you heard Premier Brantley say he was the one that brought MSR there. Now, MSR was a big name back in 22, 21, 22, 20, whenever things was working out. But now that things seems to have a little downturn, MSR seems to be a sour note. Nobody want to mention MSR. But Premier Brantley really is at the foot, at your feet. You started this ball rolling. You guys say it was the best government ever, best prime minister ever in Timothy Harris. You all had a good thing running. In my view, corruption after corruption during those 7.5 years, everybody was covering for each other, because I, DJ Marisha, when I realized what was going on, pick up my phone and call you all individually. You all didn't want to hear from me because what I was saying you all didn't like. I was mashing up the little Dolly house or the little boys club. So you all didn't want to hear from me because I was not singing the song you all wanted to hear. You all, whatever you all benefit out of this arrangement, according to the word on the street, this individual came to the Federation with little or no funds, was able to generate enough funds to buy one of our premier property there, the OTI. When you have business people, entrepreneurs, young men and women who would like to get an opportunity, cannot get an opportunity because the functionaries at these government offices don't see it fit to help a brother and sister of their own. They prefer to help foreigners. This thing needs to stop. I'm going to drop a few clips now, you know. And these clips are various clips of Premier Brantley trying to talk his way out of the situation that he brought us in. He brought the MSR people here. The gullible others of his team unit administration see something sweet for them, and all of them went after it. It's like you try to line out there with the bait and the fish bite. All of them see it as a big thing and they went after it. Now, all of a sudden, everybody tried to sidetrack and hiding face as if they did not know what was going on. Every one of them know. All of them are responsible. And you know, when I was trying to get you to speak about Premier Brantley and what's going on in Nevis, you know, I didn't want to call Brantley name for whatever reason. But Brantley's all over social media calling people names. So why are you afraid to call your name? You know, what is it about this brother Brantley that you all afraid to call his name? Well, I don't need to call his name, you know, because I have the clips here. So I'm going to listen with everyone else. I am going to listen to clips with you. So all of you afraid to call his name, let's listen to it in his own tone. Because what Brantley is saying now, yes, he brought MSR here. But he brought MSR here to do good things, make movies. But the other corrupted ministers within the team unity administration see other alternatives and they went that way. So let's take a listen to clip 1 of Brother Brantley.
So many mocked us and said, what movie them talk about the Nevis foolishness? But we made one. I think what Week in Paradise was the first one, and then rolled out 2 and 3, and then some people seem to say, boy, it looked like something serious is happening over in Nevis with this movie thing. I was in a government, the unity government, sitting in cabinet with colleagues. Every Monday we would have cabinet. And I would be reporting to them and telling them, yes, this is what is happening on Nevis, this is what we're doing with the movies, etc. Because I would have anticipated that if, as members of cabinet, we're looking to develop the country, well, if Nevis had the vision to get into the movie business and the film business, and it is and appears to be progressing, well, why not throw some resources behind it and say, let us see how we could help this thing to grow? But not. This government, that's not what happened. The next thing I know, I'm getting reports about all kinds of meetings that are happening in Nevis, in St. Kitts, and all over, between colleagues of mine sitting down next to me in cabinet, in the unity government, and the same MSR. And what the meetings are about, we want this movie industry, but we want you to move to St. Kitts. That's what it was about. And eventually, based on what I was told MSR was offered, MSR decided to move. In fact, I'm sure I still have the notice in my phone that they sent out to say that they will now be operating on the island of St. Kitts. The irony is that the usual NRP activists start to cuss me. Say, oh, look at him. He had them here and they're gone. Mind they cuss them when they come. And when they're gone, they cuss me and say, look, they're gone. All right. MSR was at Kittishan Hill and they were doing all kinds of things in St. Kitts with La Vallée and all kinds of things. And then things didn't work out. MSR came back to Nevis and I said, listen, I've always asked one thing of you is to make movies and help us build a film industry. And they went back to making movies. I think after that they must have made another 1 or 2. The government changed in St. Kitts in August of 2022. And MSR re-engaged with St. Kitts. And the next thing I heard, they had bought OTI Hotel and they sent out an indication, a notice that OTI will now be their base of operations. Again, the usual suspects in Nevis attack me. Oh, look at that. MSR gone St. Kitts and buy hotel down there now. Oh, Mark Brantley this and Mark Brantley stupid and he. Now what is everybody saying? It's a situation I look at and say, boy, sometimes you see people doing what it is they're doing. You don't understand it, leave it alone. You look at it and you feel like, oh, Nevis was on the cusp of creating some movie industry. And there was some, unfortunately, sitting right with me in the Unity Cabinet who were envious of that and who wanted to destroy it. It's not that they wanted a movie industry in St. Kitts, you know. They just did not want it in Nevis. And so they offered the sun, moon, and stars and tell them, come, come, but you can't stay over in Nevis and do it. You must come to St. Kitts. Well, they came, and now me hear all kind of lawsuit all around the world. So, who's to blame? I feel that the allegations against those who have been named are explosive and tremendously damaging. I think the question, as I said, to be asked is, are those allegations true? And we will only know that once the evidence has been led and a court has adjudicated. But those against whom those allegations are made will have to answer, because the allegations are quite specific and say in gory detail. In fact, the action runs, I believe, some 137 pages, if I recall. So, it is now in the hands of the lawyers and the courts, and they will have to deal with it. But I think it is instructive that the people of Nevis can have the confidence that their premier, the cabinet, the elected government, their officials are not caught up in any wrongdoing. Oh, not my son is a nice boy. Because you know not true. You know it's not so. But I think it is instructive that the people of Nevis can have the confidence that their premier, the cabinet, the elected government, their officials are not caught up in any wrongdoing of any kind.
Okay, so you guys heard the premier. He's not caught up in this way. So basically, he's pointing his finger at his colleagues with this whole hurrah situation. So let's take a listen to the other clip where Brother Brantley is giving his synopsis of his mindset of where the situation is at with the MSR situation and the lawsuit that is now the topic of the world. Let's take a quick listen together.
Now, leadership, government, running this island, running any country, being the person, the individual, the team that the public looks to for solutions, is not an easy undertaking. It is not for the faint of heart, nor frankly is it for those who come with the wrong idea, the wrong ideal, the wrong approach. It is not for those who come for self-aggrandizement or to enrich themselves. This lawsuit that has been filed in the US and that is making the rounds, in part, is a function and a product of people who came to government to enrich themselves. If the allegations are correct, then that is the only conclusion that we can arrive at. I have been profoundly proud of the team that we have, the individuals that comprise our team in the Concerned Citizens Movement, and the way that we have led this island. We have not been perfect. We understand that. But I think that it speaks for itself that certainly since we've been back in government in 2013, and since I've been Premier in 2017, we have not had any scandals, any suggestion of corrupt practices that has impacted our government. That to me is important. It is not talked about. It is not perhaps mentioned on the talk shows, but we have quietly gone about our business, doing it in a way that instills confidence in our people. Nobody out there can with any credible evidence say as a government we've engaged ourselves in behavior that is untoward. And so we're not just talking about good governance, clean, transparent governance. We are demonstrating it. Let's go back to the phones. Good evening, you're on the mark.
Yeah, Mr. Matt, well, all these little lawsuits and everybody used to live good. I don't know why all these little lawsuits cost a lot of money, you know. Me never got the money, we take much more for lawsuit. All right, just pray and God will help you all through.
Thank you, my dear. And, you know, lawsuits are there to resolve conflict and resolve issues. And I'll be honest with you, as a lawyer myself, I'm happy that people use the mechanisms that are available to them to resolve disputes, because absent that, what would we do? People would take the law into their own hands and do things that we don't want them to do. So I don't fret that they are lawsuits. I fret sometimes that they are and can be frivolous, and many frivolous lawsuits have been filed against me. And there are times, of course, when those lawsuits would not have been necessary if people had conducted themselves the way that they should conduct themselves. And we can't continue to talk about good governance. We can't continue to talk about integrity in public life if we're not prepared to demonstrate that. And that's why, as I said, to date, I am happy that we have not had those kinds of allegations leveled against my government or the CCM party in government. And I'm proud of that. And I hope that my colleagues and I will continue on that path, because it's an important path that we not just say that we are transparent and open and that we have integrity, but that we show it. And so for me, the lawsuit that has been filed speaks volumes for what it says. It also speaks volumes for what it does not say. And I meticulously went through the 30-something pages, because I wanted to know if anything untoward or adverse was said about any of my team. And the answer was no. In fact, I think it's interesting and worthy of note that the only individual from the Team Unity cabinet that was named in that action was the former Prime Minister Timothy Harris. The Honorable Sean Richards was Deputy Prime Minister, no mention of him. The Honorable Mark Brantley, who was leader of CCM, the third party in the Troika, no mention of him. So Unity had three key leaders. The one who we entrusted to lead the team, Timothy Harris. Sean Richards, the leader of the largest party, the largest number of seats within Unity, PAM. And Mark Brantley, the leader of the second largest number of seats, the party with that, CCM. PAM no get mentioned, CCM no get mentioned. Sean no get mentioned, Mark no get mentioned. One man get mentioned. As I said, some things speak for themselves. They say what they say, but they also sometimes speak volumes for what is not said. And I feel that I have tried to conduct myself in a particular way in terms of how I handle public life and anything to do with the public purse. and it is instructive, as I say, who has been named in that lawsuit, the allegations that have been made against them, and importantly, who has not been named. That, I think, is important. So when those come and want to scapegoat and gaslight, I am not part of that. And so long as I have an English tongue in my head, I'm prepared to speak, and to speak truthfully, openly and honestly to the people of Nevis and the wider Federation. And I believe that is something that our people need in terms of their leaders and in terms of the leadership of this island and of this country. I would invite, as I close off the show this evening, those who are interested to look at progress happening on the island to visit Pinneys Beach. I have family members who are here and are coming in, and was able to take them last night, well, accompany them last night to the Nevis Peak Brewery and to enjoy some locally brewed beer, first in the history of the island. And it was magnificent. They loved it. And I invite Nevisians to go and take a look. Go and see for yourself. Don't just listen to me, or for that matter, don't just listen to the naysayers. Go and take a look for yourself. I believe that those who are coming in from outside in particular are going to be astonished by what they see.
Yes, that's the second clip of the Premier there, Mark Brantley of Nevis, leader of the opposition in the federal parliament. And I'm playing these clips for a reason, you know. I have listened to these clips. I have my own views. I'm taking out what he's saying, because sometimes you don't listen to what people say sometimes, you know. You listen to what they're not saying. And the party just started, you know. You got a long way for this party to go. More names gonna call, more things gonna drop, a lot more gonna happen. But my biggest concern of all this is because of you selfish citizens, selfish nationals who did not care about the big picture, which is our beloved federation that we call country about self, our motto. You all just focus on what you were benefiting from that former administration. When they were telling you everything good, country running good, ignore the noise, ignore the fake news, listen to us. We are telling you the facts. Now the facts are coming out slowly, drip, drip. But at the end of the day, we know every last one of them from that Team Unity administration is responsible for what this country is going through today. No matter who try to pull themselves out of it, you know. No matter how they try to talk the way out of it. DJ Marish will be coming to you weekly and bringing you the facts, bringing the receipts. And you be your own judge. But they don't a lot of them. You know how when you have some people out there creating problem, they start a fight and they run and make the first complaint, and it's them start the problem, you know? But they feel it because they complain first. They are correct. Some of them like the house of fire, and they turn around and get a small bucket and try to throw water when they want the house burned down. Well, what they didn't realize, the house they're burning down, they're in the same house. Half the story have not been told. Let's continue listening to Brother Brantley.
You recall that a company would have come here during COVID to make some movies. The NIA entered into an agreement with them. They honored their agreement to us, and we honored our agreement to them, and some 9 films were created here, including some like The Island that went on to do quite well. They attacked the people who came, cussed them, say all kind of things about them. The irony of that was that while they were attacking those who came to make movies here, the people had all of their people staying. in an establishment that's owned by them and their supporters. The people had hired many people who were their supporters. The people had their catering and all that being done by their supporters, but they were attacking the people. Sound familiar? Just like this fellow who walking up at the complex and attacking the complex. We then had the indication that an investor who has come wants to partner with the NIA to develop the Van Samri Airport and to improve it for the benefit of everybody and for the benefit of the island. Next thing I know, they say that they have information from some hack of the man's information in France, and they start to collude with all kind of people to say all kind of things about the man. An attack because the man says he's willing to partner with the government to develop the airport. But when the airport is developed, not all of us going to use it. And I know that the opposition is going to use it when it's developed. You know why I know? Because they oppose the water taxi pier. And sometimes when I see them walking on it, taking the water taxi, I just smile. Because they were opposed to it. When I see them now over at the Mondo track, exercising, their children running over there, I smile because they were opposed to that too. So now the latest is a businessman who has come, an investor. He says he's doing some ultra high-end luxury villas. When I went for the groundbreaking, the contractor is Sorry Paving. The AC man is Mr. Hines. The electrical man is Mr. Swanston. The plumber is Mr. Grant. All people that we know. All people that will be employing people here. I saw TDC and people like those there. No doubt they're going to be selling some materials. The people are introducing some new technologies in terms of not using steel and all that here. Our planning department was there. No doubt interested in seeing how these new technologies can assist in terms of our resilience and development here on the island. And within 24 hours, they took to the media to attack the man and accuse him of all kinds of things. I see what the evidence suggests, that there is a pattern of simply attacking, denigrating, opposing for the sake of opposing. They are opposed to Nevis developing, opposed to every investor that comes, even when they are the ones getting the benefit. There's supposed to be some hotel development. They had announced some time ago called Wyndham, and they've come back now, repurposed and repackaged, and said that it's actually a much higher end of the scale, and they're looking to do it in the St. Thomas's area. And I have smiled to myself. You know why I have smiled? The fellow that Wyndham has running around is an activist for the NRP. And just today I saw something saying that the person who's doing the EIA and all of that for the project is the leader of NRP. And so I believe I can confidently say tonight that that project won't have any criticism from them. I believe I can say that. And I have just looked and smiled. Because development is development. And investment is investment. And if we can attract investors and we can attract development, why is it we spend so much time attacking the people? Remember, you know, part of their narrative is that there is no investment in Nevis. They say it and cry to the top of the hills. Oh, what I said, the investors out to see them now come ashore. But every time the investor come ashore, they cuss him. Cuss him. Say all kind of thing about him. And what they're trying to do is simply to create an environment of hostility where people say, you know what, this is not for me. I don't want to be here. That's what they're trying to do. And when that hostility is created and people leave, they then say, aha, we told you nobody wants to invest with them. But as I said, let us continue to do the best we can. And let us hope that our people continue to pay attention to what's going on, what's happening here. The numbers again are 869-469-1616 and 869-469-1700. While we wait for the phone to ring, I'm going to continue to talk and to update you. At the press conference, I think it was Freedom FM that sent a question asking about this lawsuit that we have all now heard about, that has been brought by MSR Media against a number of individuals in the United States. And that lawsuit stems from alleged malpractice in the Citizenship by Investment program. And I was asked what advice I would give. Well, how I get in to be giving advice? Nobody has hired me as a lawyer. It's a legal matter. The lawyer's job is to advise their client. I'll get back to that. Let me take this call. Good evening, you're on the mark. Hello?
Yes, on the mark. I get it. I hear Angela is dead too about the lawsuit. But
yes.
I don't know who do the lawsuit. But we got to be careful because only the passport, the marriage, and the tourist and tell everybody hello. Take care.
All right, thank you very much. So, we have this lawsuit that has been filed, and as the caller said, it's all over the news. It turns out that the lawsuit has been filed by the same people whom I brought to Nevis to make some movies. And so today, somebody drew my attention that there was a program on one of the radio stations. And I was actually quite surprised to hear that there were people calling into that program blaming me. I said, well, that is interesting. They said, is Brantley bring them here? I said, well, let me drink a little water. Forgive me, please. Brantley is to be blamed because Brantley bring them here. But I said Brantley brought them here to make movies. And they made the movies that Brantley brought them here to make. The other things that they've engaged themselves in over in St. Kitts, what that has to do with me? I wasn't part of those negotiations or discussions. So if they went to St. Kitts and they engaged with officials in St. Kitts, and they came to whatever arrangements they came with people in St. Kitts, what does that have to do with me? And now that allegations are flying fast and furious, forgive me, now that allegations are flying fast and furious, I don't hear anybody asking the question that should be asked. And to my mind, that question that should be asked is, are these allegations true? That is the question. Because if the allegations are true, then the finger should be pointed at those whom, according to the allegations, were involved in destroying the program. Somehow it seems that some of us Rather than dealing with what the obvious problem is, are prepared to look for scapegoats. Well, nobody gonna scapegoat me, because I wasn't involved in any shenanigans. I never take no money. I wasn't involved in any corruption. I was involved in none of that. Before God and man, my hands are clean. And that is why I was able to say yesterday in the press conference that the old people here have a saying. They say, those who have cocoa as sun must look for rain. I found it instructive that notwithstanding that I and the NIA brought MSR to Nevis to make films, to make movies, to help us to develop a film industry, that was our mandate to them. And that is what they came here to do. That notwithstanding, that was their first point of contact. And they have had an ongoing contact with us in the context of making movies and developing a film industry. You realize that nobody in Nevis is named in this lawsuit? I am not named. None of my colleagues are named. Nobody on the island of Nevis is named. So what do you think that is? Because we're lucky? Because MSR loves us? No. What it means is that there are no allegations in relation to us, because we have not involved ourselves in anything untoward or improper. I engaged MSR to make movies. I said to MSR, I want to develop a film industry. Help me to do it. And so all this other things that I am now hearing about and reading about, those things have nothing to do with me or my government. And I just want to make that very clear. I do not know whether the allegations, explosive as they are, in this lawsuit are true or false. That is why the court of law exists. MSR claims to have evidence of this and that. I have not seen any evidence. I do not know. I am not the judge. But I refuse to be a scapegoat for people. Because when MSR was in Nevis making movies, a lot of effort was put into telling MSR move to Sinkits and bring the whole kit and caboodle to Sinkits.
So my good people, I know as painful as it is to listen to the rhetoric from Brother Brantley, I have to play those clips because I want you guys, a lot of you, they're cussing the current administration. Can't wait for this to happen and can't wait for that to happen. You all are thinking about self and not country. This situation we are in right now, this MSR lawsuit right now, should be a wake-up call to the transactional government that you guys put in office, a federal transactional government in 2015. Luckily for us, God came and stepped in and cut it short in 2022. And if you guys go back and listen to all of the rhetoric that they were saying, how good there was, the best government ever, best prime minister, best this, best that. Look at how we come full circle. Look at what we are dealing with. I would not even waste time, go back and play those other clips. Where Premier Brantley is talking about Timothy Harris as the best prime minister, cussing Dr. Douglas, cussing the Labour Party, cussing the St. Kitts people, cussing Bradshaw, asking for secession, want the fair share. Well, they get more than the fair share look like. They get fair share plus. Because people, I understand, got millions and billions in their bank account, while Dwyer just saying his commentary school children going to school and hungry belly still. I went to school on hungry belly. I'm not ashamed of it. Look at what I became. My family was a fishing family. I eat fish 24/7. Fish for breakfast, fish for lunch, fish for dinner, fish for supper. Those days I did not know better. I thought we were poor. It's only since I traveled out of St. Kitts and realized that we were rich because we were getting the real deal. I said on this program before, I used to eat fish so much that I used to hide my fried fish in a brown bag, take it to school to give my schoolmate, and he give me chicken back because I thought chicken back was rich people food. Did not know better back in them days. But this is how these people have our minds set up. The mental slavery. And you know, I'm going to rest Mark Brantley there for tonight, you know. There's a lot more, but I'm not going to make this program tonight about just Premier Brantley. Because whether he wants to believe it or not, you know, I have no personal issues with Premier Brantley. It's his governance practice, his continuous bullshit to the people of St. Kitts Nevis. Whenever he speaks, I could hear it, I can see it, I could decipher it. I do not know how many people can do that. But a lot of these politicians, when they're speaking to you, they're speaking to you with all these lies and belief that they could bamboozle you and they fool you. No, you're not fooling anybody. Because look at what happened. Like they say, what happened in the dark must come to light, you know. Night run till they catch it. Day run till night catch it. It's a cycle. And all of these criminal activities that you all are doing, corruption after corruption, millions after millions, billions after billions, disappearing from this country that the poor people should have, that you all get in, but yet you all lock up poor people for tampi. Some of these people going around robbing groceries and robbing these other businesses on the island, you know. I've been on the ground here talking to people. Yes, some of them really is overdoing it. But some of them is for survival. Survival. Because they try reaching out to some of your politicians and your functionaries and you are not giving them no option. And they have to survive. So they turn to crime. The struggle is real. A couple of weeks ago, and I will continue saying this, a question was asked at a press conference about the criminal activities on the island. And one individual at that table, my partner there, Brother Rollins, aka Wussy, was man enough to give his honest opinion that the killings that are taking place, many of them, is retaliation. And the whole opposition and the fake news try to make it into this big thing. The man was talking the truth. And I'm still waiting week after week for you all to tell me, prove to me where he was wrong. You all had the man to kill. I have said it then and I'm going to say it again. He came back and retracted his statement. And I believe it was pure pressure from whoever why he retracted the statement. But it was a factual statement. And I'm going to stand behind the statement. And I'm going to stand behind my boy, Brother Rollins. Because I want to have some honest, independent thinkers in our law force. Our law system here, we need to get the politics out of it. Deal with the realities. You got politicians sitting in high office, committing all kind of crime, criminal activities. You know, our police commissioner now, you know, our new police commissioner, I got some information, you know, that prior to him being advanced to police commissioner, he was an investigator in the white collar unit, you know. And there are certain political figures that he had investigated and targeted to serve warrants on, you know, that is under the former administration from 2015 to 22. And because of the political will of those politicians, some of those individuals was not charged. The warrant was never served. Well, you're now police commissioner, you know. You know who those figures were, you know. You know who those peoples were, you know. They're still there. They're still there functioning. So if they were criminal in the former, they're still criminal today, you know. Why those charges cannot be filed? Why you all are turning a blind eye? But you all out there harassing innocent. When I say innocent, poor little men and women is trying to survive. While them their thief million and billions. Why? Why we allow our politicians them to do as they please? During the campaign, they talk about good things, good governance, for the good that we can do. That's what we expect to get. For the good that we can do. My next clip that I'm coming with, when I heard this clip, I got to really thank my nephew. I have to thank my boy Elvin Ellie, my boy Django, my engineer Ike, Cora Bennett, and all of you folks out there. Here's a Claxton. Luckily, I have you all to talk me down at times. Cora Bennett, Gwyneth, Beverly, Lynn. Luckily, I have you all to talk me down sometimes. Because when I listen to some of this nonsense, some of this bullshit coming out of some of these ministers' mouth, especially in Parliament where they think they're protected, it really gets me on the wrong side. You all hear me spoke about the former Prime Minister Timothy Harris. Prior to him getting into the Team Unity administration winning in 2015, you all heard me spoke about them going around following the former speaker, whether Curtis Martin, and them doing all kind of protests through the square, through the streets of Bastille. They go as far as to St. Vincent and paid people to carry placards talking about how bad things are in St. Kitts. You all heard me spoke about that. Following that situation, when the Team Unity administration got into office in 2021, when some citizens decided they had enough and they're going to stage a little protest. I understand it was over there on Kean and Church Street, right across from the Anglican Church. I understand 3 of our citizens got arrested for placards. From what I understand, some of them who got arrested did not have anything in their hand. The placard was on the ground. My boy, Brother Shaq Mothercop, was one of those individuals that got arrested for recording and carrying the protest live. People was locked up for the whole weekend. Their right was taken away from them. Instructions was given to the police, no bail. Let them study all weekend. I understand one of the young lady that was arrested had a young baby recently. But she had to stay locked down at the prison there, 1840, for the whole weekend, so that our gangster there, Prime Minister Harris, could get the people under control. And that was not bad enough. Tear gas was fired at the crowd, out of the churchyard, out of the Anglican churchyard, if no place else. Our military personnel went into a churchyard to fire tear gas and a crowd that there was no war. There was no unrest. This is what took place in 21 under Timothy Harris. Now, fast forward to 2024. The same Timothy Harris gone into Parliament, calling on our citizens to protest against the now Labour administration. My good people, I can't make up these stories. These things are real. I cannot make up these stories. So let me play the clip for you. Hear for yourself.
And it says that the government is phasing out the electricity subsidy already assumed in the baseline. What's your electricity bill? If your bill look high suddenly, the government, according to this report, has begun to charge you more. The subsidy is being removed. Your bills will get higher. And this government of liars and vagabonds have not come to tell us what the IMF is now telling us in the report of May. It is time for us to get the Esther moment. It is time for us to walk the streets. It is time for us to ensure that this government never gets back there.
Yes, my good people. This is the former Prime Minister Timothy Harris that had our citizens arrested and tear gas for standing up out there on Keon and Church Street back in 21. I'm telling you, they were arrested and tear gas for standing up with placards just to show their dissatisfaction with the COVID regulations and what was going on. The tear gas is what got me on the streets of New York. The tear gassing is what got me onto the streets of St. Kitts. My campaign to change that former administration, that is why we are where we are today. And for those of you who miss it, you Team Unity people that forget, you PAM people, I want you all to get it into your head, because I realize that this Lucifer, Timothy Harris, my good partner, you know, me not mind having a drink with him, but I'm going to tell him like it is. This Lucifer should never see nothing like a government or prime ministership again in this federation. Not with the damage that he have done to this country. But I realize he got these goons out there appealing to Denzel Douglas to join forces with him to come back in government. Well, Douglas would have to be an ass. A big ass too, if he wanted to go pay attention to Timothy. But recently, I understand that the PAM had their convention and Sister Shani Gray got elected as leader of the PAM. And Brother Timothy is out there congratulating and stretching his hand to work with. Well, Pam, if I don't get enough blows from Timothy in 7 years, 7.5 years, and all the cussing and tell Shani how mumu he is, ain't good enough. And Shani, you want to go be mumu. You go, you know. But DJ Marisha will be standing here to ensure that St. Kitts Nevis will never see the light of a Prime Minister Harris. Not the one there. A different Harris, but not this one as Prime Minister again. That's what DJ Marisha is here to tell you all tonight, this evening. So let's take a listen to him again. Because he might say later on he didn't call for no protests. But recently that's what he did.
And he says that the government is phasing out the electricity subsidy already assumed in the baseline. What's your electricity bill? If your bill look high suddenly, the government, according to this report, has begun to charge you more. The subsidy is being removed. Your bills will get higher. And this government of liars and vagabonds have not come to tell us what the IMF is now telling us in the report of May. It is time for us to get the Esther moment. It is time for us to walk the streets. It is time for us to ensure that this government never gets back there.
Yes, that's what Timothy is saying. That you guys have to get ready to protest. You guys now are ready to protest. There's a need. I'm there for you. But right now, you know, it's not just Timothy I'm concerned about, you know. Not just Timothy. Several of those former individuals, I hope you all can recall that my brother there, Sam Condor, is the main reason why Timothy was able to fall a PLP party. Sam and Timothy are partners in that PLP party. And I keep asking Sam the question, why to date he still have not do the necessary work to dismantle this PLP party? And he gave me some bullshit answers, right? But recently, something was brought to my attention on the Groundings program last week. And it's not the first time. I have heard it before. it appears as though something, either personal or whatever it is going on between Sam Condor and our new Speaker of the Federal Parliament, Sister Blanchett. I don't know Sister Blanchett well. From time to time, I run across the Parliament when folks would bring my attention to things that I need to check out. And I took the opportunity, I think was late 22. First time I ever sat in Parliament in the area there where the visitors will sit and listen to Parliament. That was my first experience. And I don't have an issue with Sister Blanchett. I think she conducts herself well in comparison to the former Speaker, Mr. Perkins. Because under the former Speaker, Conwys, Dr. Douglas, Jeffrey Hanley, they had a time of their life in Parliament. They could not speak. I think Conwys get thrown out of Parliament on several occasions. And Timothy Harris did not have any issue showing his powers and demanding things get done a certain way. I didn't hear Sam Condor, who was then ambassador to the UN, speaking about the way the Speaker was functioning. I hear him say lately that that Speaker was the worst ever. But during the time, I never heard Sam Condor ever comment about the function of that Speaker and the way that the candidate was treated during Parliament. A lot of them could not talk on the Team Unity administration. The tongue and the teeth could not get along. But today, under the new Labour administration, everybody can speak. Everybody can talk. Everybody can walk. Everybody can dress. Everybody can smile. So I'm going to play a little clip here that I got from the grounding school on Friday. Because it's telling me that if Sam Condor, my good partner, could speak so plain now and accusing the current Speaker of not giving Timothy a fair shake, Sam, it's time for you to retire. I think you're going into some kind of dementia, right? If you know who Timothy is, what Timothy has done and what Timothy is trying, and you are now trying to defend Timothy, that he must get more support from the Speaker, is either you have some kind of weight carrying for Timothy, some kind of love carrying for Timothy, or you got some kind of dementia. So I'm going to play that clip because I want you, the online viewers, listen to the nonsense that's going on in your all beloved federation. When you all stay out in the diaspora, don't come home to see things for you all self. This is what happened to our country. The MSR situation and a lot more. You all need to pay attention. So let's take a listen to Brother Sam defending Timothy, the Timothy that busts his ass and knock him about. Millions are missing from the PLP, they can't get any response on it. Sam is today defending Timothy, said that the Speaker not treating him nice. Let's take a listen.
And even so, I mean, even before they go in terms of PLP, I think the former Prime Minister and leader of PLP has to really make a more serious attempt of the representation in the constitution, in the Parliament. That is a major concern.
His representation in Parliament.
Yeah. I mean, his attendance in Parliament.
They say he's being discriminated against.
Yeah,
by this Speaker.
Yeah, and I agree with that.
Okay.
I agree with that. I think the Speaker does not treat him fairly. I think she has a little bias, and that is something with our Speaker. And maybe I should just speak about that now because we had a team here from the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association who was doing a review of our parliamentary system. I hope Dr. Harris had an opportunity to speak to them because they were seeing, it was on the news item, I don't know if you heard it. They were seeing former parliamentarians, members of the government, and so on and so on. So, and I went to see them. I spoke to them about all those things about the same thing that Dr. Earl spoke about, the unfairness, because our speakers, over the years, we have had serious problems with the way they have conducted themselves. I believe starting from, well, in my time we had...
But Sam, if the speaker is picked by the incumbent, then there's no doubt that he's going to be curry favor.
That is not how it's supposed to be,
I know it's not supposed to work that way, but in reality, that is how it works.
No, the reality, the speaker is supposed to be a speaker. The parliament is one branch of government.
Right.
You know, and the executive is another branch of government. And
I understand that.
You have to be independent. The speaker cannot.
Very hard to do.
Look, that ain't not hard to do.
The only one who I could recall being kind of independent was Brand.
Brand was exceptionally good.
There you go.
Not kind.
Well, that's it.
But even before Brand, we had people like the governor, President Governor General. Marcelo was a speaker.
Right.
Was a very good
Curtis
speaker.
Martin.
Well, not Curtis. Curtis wasn't as good as speaker as he should have been. Walford was a good speaker as well. Curtis was, you know.
What about the guy from Nevis?
I mean, he was the worst. He was the worst. He was the worst.
Okay.
You know, I mean, let me tell you something about the speaker in the UK Parliament.
Yes.
The speaker is somebody who is elected, you know. Is somebody who ran for election, right? And then they name the speaker by the winning party, right? But just to make sure that the speaker keeps his or her independence, once they're going to run again in the next election, they run unopposed, you know. No party is putting any candidate
but
against
this is how
them.
it should be.
Well, I tell you,
we don't have that here.
No, so but that's easy to do.
Right.
That's not difficult. All you have to be follow the rules and allow people. You're supposed to facilitate the discussion and keep order. That's all you're supposed to do.
It's like how
no favoritism and nothing.
It's like how ZIZ is manipulated.
Yeah.
Right.
The government.
Whoever is in government.
The government does not need any support from the speaker. The government has the majority. They will outvote the opposition. They don't need any support. And people value so much about the contribution of Parliament. In fact, if the speaker is supposed to give anybody support, the minority, because they will want help. The government that doesn't need any help.
Right.
And so I don't know why the speaker them do that. It's not necessary.
Yeah.
So, Brother Condor, where was this conversation between 2015 and 2022 when Speaker Perkins was doing all of this nonsense in Parliament? You say he was the worst. Your own words. Where were you during this time? And why is the attack on Sister Blanchett? From what I understand, Sister Blanchett might be the only speaker that have tried in a short stay as speaker to do some reformation of the House, get the stuff up to date. Things are so backward and outdated. You're telling people, based on your statement a while ago, that there was some team that came in and in the Federation to do some assessment, and you went and spoke with them. But Sam, why don't you tell the general public the facts? Why don't you give them the facts? Because I have something here from SKNIS that states the completion of phase 2 of the benchmark assessment by the National Assembly was done recently. And according to the information I am getting, Sam, this initiative was done by the current speaker, Sister Blanchett, and all of you, the present parliamentarians and the past parliamentarians, speakers and whoever. It was by an invitation letter, a phone call. You guys was invited to speak to this team to get the processes going to try and improve on the parliamentary procedures. So why are you giving the general public the impression that this team is here and you went to see them, instead of giving the general public the facts that you was invited by the current speaker? Why is this misleading information about the current speaker? Now, there's a little article here, and I'm going to try and read it to the best that I can, so that the general public will get a better understanding of what is really going on and not be misled by some of these things you're all hearing in these media houses, these radio stations. It's stated here, Bastia St. Kitts, May 27, 2024. National Assembly of St. Christopher and Nevis. The Commonwealth Parliamentarian Association, CPA, has completed phase 2 of a comprehensive assessment on the National Assembly of St. Christopher and Nevis. Mr. Matthew Salik, Head of Programs, Ms. Avni Condor, Programs Manager, visited the Federation from May 18th to 2024 to May 25th, 2024. At the invitation of the Honorable Speaker, this team was invited to our beloved Federation by the current Speaker, Sister Blanchett, Honorable Blanchett. The information gathered during this critical groundwork phase of the assessment is crucial to the overall development of the final report. Prior to the arrival, the delegation collected and analyzed data from several members of Parliament and staff of the Parliament. It continues. The CPA's recommended benchmark for democratic legislatures seek to identify areas for improvement in the administration and operation function of the Parliament, providing minimum standards for the functioning of Parliament. This assessment supports the trust forward identifying the requirements for a modernized legislature. Moreover, this assessment analyzed the National Assembly conformity to the fundamental principles outlined in the Commonwealth Charter and Sustainable Development Goals. Now, this is really what transpired, Sam. So instead of giving people the impression that a team came into St. Kitts to do some assessment and you went and speak with them, let the people know. This event was at the request and direction of the Speaker of the House. All of you got an invitation via the Speaker, and you went there and whatever you all say and do is fine. But the Speaker don't need to support Timothy. Timothy is very disrespected when he's in Parliament. He don't respect nobody. He walk in when he feels what he got to say and walk out. Timothy act like he's the only gangster out there, and he's not a gangster, you know. Because of the cowards all like them when they by themselves, you know. When they got the bodyguard them next to them, they're big and tall, and they're powerful. Take the bodyguard from them, they're some little puppy. They're not ready because simple people like me, they can't even stand up and talk to you. They can't have a conversation. So Sam, I am reaching out to you and I'm asking you, when you all go on your all programs on a Friday, groundings or wherever you all go, give the people the facts. Give the people the facts. And I got a song here by my boy Sakut, you know. You all know I like to drop me songs in between. And I for this time, there's a saying that a king has no honor in his own country, but this is a queen, Queen Blanchett. Give her some honor for the effort and the step that she took to try and get the Parliament in a more cohesive manner. So Sister Blanchett, this one for you.
Migration is not for me. I love this watch, man. Bring it again. Hey. This is where it's take. This is where I feel. I like many others. Nobody wanting me away. Marshall, not to New York City.
A king has no honor in his own country.
I tell she, I'll never ever give up sweet SKB.
A king has no honor in his own country.
Ayo! 6'4", 240 pounds of solid sandy pointer. Motor can't run me. Though he tried upstage, the Minister of Culture. Everybody know, last year final show, you were hardly at your best. But the record stand, your contribution are the greatest we've had yet. Today you are the only Calypsonian who is not afraid to sing. You won your crown at each competition, even at the King of Kings. No one is denying your popularity, but
Has no honor in his own country.
yes, we hail your talent as extraordinary.
A king has no honor in his own country.
Why not take your talent up to New York City?
A king has no honor in his own country.
I tell she, I'll never ever give up sweet SKB.
A king has no honor in his own country. Sorry to see you go, but for your career to grow, you got to say adios.
To your own country.
Sorry to see you go,
So take a baby, baby, at all.
say adios.
And leave your own country.
Sorry to see you go,
Not me,
your career to grow,
not me.
say adios.
To your own country.
Sorry to see you go, but for your career to grow, you got to say adios.
And leave your own country. Unlike some people I know, only come on for carnival to sing calypso. Hey, them is guest artists. Pa, pa, da, di, da, da, pa, 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 pa. Miriam. Sandy Point Massive. Bird Rock Massive. I said to my fan, your inspiration give me courage to press on. Though it's sad to see the powers that be keep on treating me with scorn. That's why you never see me on any big show, even when the shows are free. She said, never mind for when it comes to Calypso, you're the best in the country. No one is denying your popularity, but and we hail your talent as extraordinary. Rumors say you migrated to TNT. I tell she I'll never ever give up sweet SKB. In your own country. And leave me own country. Slide J. To your own countly. Loving the Slims. Big Mike. To your own country.
Yes, man. Respect to Sister Blanchett. You know, Annette Morton, my girl, that is why all you across the Navies cannot get nothing done over there, you know. I don't expect anything different than you to agree with people with what Sam Condor is saying, because that is why you all can get rid of Mark Brantley over there in Navies. You all NRP people sit down there and expect everybody to come and work on your behalf. You all don't want to do any work. You all want the Prime Minister and the Attorney General and everybody to come and do all your work. Get up off your lazy backside and do all your own work. Listen to what I'm talking about. Sam Condor is wrong on this one. Sam is my partner. I respect him. I love him, but he's wrong on this one. And to my brother Eustace Hendrickson there, over there in the Houston area. Eustace, I think I made it clear in my statement that the Honorable Speaker invited everyone, present, past, and even the other NGOs to this event. And since you want the facts, you know, DJ Marish, I don't come here at night, not prepare with my facts. I bring my receipts because I know I got people like you and Ivor Henry and Thaddeus Depasso and the man King Chubby and people out there always ready to hold my foot to the fire and examine my statements. And I love that. I love that about my viewership. They challenge me, they hold my foot to the fire. I don't have a problem with that. The politicians them do, not DJ Marish. So I have here a little sample of the letter that was sent out to everyone. So let me read the letter. I'm not going to get into details because these things are private stuff. You know, the letter started off saying, dear Mr. or Mrs. or whoever. And there's a line item on the top. It states, invitation to CPA benchmark assessment parliamentary stakeholders engagement. That is the line item, that is the topic. I hope this letter finds you well. I am writing to inform you of an important development regarding our parliamentary procedures. After careful consideration and consultation with the relevant stakeholders, I have made a formal request to the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, CPA, to conduct a benchmark assessment of the National Assembly of St. Kitts and Nevis. This invitation seeks to evaluate and enhance the efficiency and effectiveness of our legislative processes. Therefore, I take this opportunity to inform you of an imminent country visit by the official of the CPA from May 20 to 24, 2024 to conduct the requisite groundwork for this assessment. As a parliamentarian stakeholder, I opine that your contribution will be invaluable to the overall success of this upcoming exercise. In this regard, and on behalf of the National Assembly, I wish to invite you to a meeting with the delegation during their visit at the mutual convenient time that will be subsequently communicated. The significance of this exercise in our jurisdiction cannot be overstated. It is imperative that we regularly review and improve upon our parliamentary practices to better serve the needs of the legislative and extension. Our citizens, the Benchmark Association, will provide us with valuable insights and recommendations to achieve this goal. Moreover, it presents us with an opportunity to evaluate our legislative processes, identify areas of improvement, and strengthen the functioning of our democracy. By engaging in this assessment, we demonstrate our commitment to transparency, accountability, and continuous improvement in governance. Considering the above, I humbly request your participation during this critical stage of assessment. Thank you for your kind attention in this matter. For further information on the exercise, please contact Ms. Trevelyn Stapleton, Clerk of National Assembly at 869-467-1559 or St. Kitts SKN Parliament at gov.kn. Sincerely, Honorable Lenine K. Blanchett. So my good people, the invitation went out to everyone, including the NGOs, present and past parliamentarians, present and past speakers. Everyone was invited. And according to my information, the only person that did not attend this event was Speaker Perkins. Everyone else took the opportunity and made the assessment and made their contribution. So when we're going to sit out there and just criticize, we need to give Sister Blanchett her kudos and thank her for the effort that she put out in trying to get our parliament going. And I'm going to say to Sam again, partner, cut out your bullshit. about Timothy must get supported by the speaker. Timothy is a wrecking train coming through to destroy this country. You helped him in doing that in 7.5 years from 2015 to 2022. And Sam, it would not happen again under my watch. So if you're looking to bring Timothy back to be relevant, take a leave, you know, Sam. Take a leave. I will not be a part of that. And I'm going to tell you, St. Kitts will rise again from the mess that you all put it in. But like I always do, I thank you, Sam, and I thank Dwyer for creating the PLP. Because without the PLP, there would be no team unity. And without that team unity, we would never see Timothy Harris for what he was and still is. And that mistake we will never make again. So I'm going back to Green Valley, and I'm going back to bring my boy Saah to tell you that St. Kitts will rise again. And this is going to be my final track before I close out for the night. So again, my good people online, thanks again for your continued support and logging on. And I will give some updates this evening. And the death of my partner there in St. Thomas, Brother Desmond Morris, aka Bombi Joe. I'll give some update on his funeral, and I'll give some updates on my cousin there, Jerry Carty, Alman Hutchinson, aka Jerry Carty in England. His funeral is going to be on July 3rd. So let's take a listen to Saah, and before I sign off, I'll give those updates and I'm out of here. And I want to take this opportunity again to thank my friend, Sister Mart Skinner Bessie Joycelyn, for allowing me to use their facilities this evening to bring this live broadcast. Because, as I said, the electricity in my area is out, and I had to come to you, the people, because you deserve it. And I know you look forward to seeing this young man on a Tuesday evening to bring you the facts.
Now this song is going out to all Kittitian in England, in America, in Canada, around the Caribbean region, and especially those Kittitian at home. Doctors, lawyers, teachers and contractors, come and build your land. Come lend a helping hand. There was a land of natural beauty, this peaceful land across the Caribbean Sea. Yes, we have her ups and downs on the time. Critics always try to push her behind. But what I know is that St. Kitts was doing fine. Then up come this Mother Nature. Oh, what a big disaster. Cause the people of St. Christopher to wonder. Cause them to wonder why. When we heard that pounding wind, then we know it's Hurricane George. Then we see them galvanized lying all over we yard. So we got to join as one and work to build back our land. Kittitian, St. Kitts is calling. The country is hurting. You could see St. Kitts is calling. Mima, the children are crying. Kittitian, come and join us one and build back your land. Come and build this land. Though the hurricane hit Port and Tedak, and our hospital roof it get blow up. Yes, it is pain, but
St. Kitts will rise again.
Stick this in your brain, Kittitian.
The St. Kitts will rise again.
Come on, Kittitian. Construction workers. Lend a helping hand. Come show that you care. Lord, we tried our best to prepare, but never know that George would have hung a door. In this time of stress, there's so much unrest. Petition, we have to try our best. My Prime Minister, it is time to take on the test, because there's some people there were saying there won't be no St. Kitts again. I'm sick and tired of them with their wrong complaint, with their false complaint. Look how we get Louis this game. Remember in 95, and he destroyed St. Martin and put business back behind. St. Martin box right back, and they had things right back in line. But now this time, St. Kitts is calling. Petition, the country is voting. You could see St. Kitts is calling. Come on, the children are crying. Petition, come and join us one and build back your land. Come and build this land. Know that how we can mash up in Kayan. Watch our tower building, it get blood up. Yes, it is pain. But St. Kitts will rise again. Where the sun and rain, petition. St. Kitts will rise again. Come on, petition. Come on, so that you can. You see how beautiful it looks? Just like that. You have to kill back St. Kitts. Just like that. It's pretty. It's beautiful. You petition, hold on and keep strong. This misery and fear we would overcome. When you cry, you know that I would cry too. My love and my prayer goes out to you. Caribbean island, get up and make a contribution. For some countries in far distance, try your best with what you can do. What happened to St. Kitts could surely happen to you. And you know that's true. When something like this happen, come lend a helping hand. It's what we cannot run from. It's just part of nature's plan. Tell how we come start. A disaster prepared is fun. Because today, St. Kitts is calling. The country is hurting. You could see St. Kitts is calling. Petition, the children are crying. Petition, come and join us one and build back your land. Come and build this land. Know the how we can destroy our land. Watch our can feel them how they get blood up. Yes, it is pain. But St. Kitts will rise again. Take this in a brain, petition. St. Kitts will rise again. Where the sun and rain, Kayan people. St. Kitts will rise again. Again and again, large and not less. St. Kitts will rise again. Go and tell Bill Clinton, Saah said. St. Kitts will rise again. I say run, go tell Great Britain right away. St. Kitts will rise again. I don't care what you say, what I know. St. Kitts will rise again. Just believe in yourself, Saah said. St. Kitts will rise again. Go tell the whole Caribbean, I say. St. Kitts will rise again.
Yes, man, the King Saah out of the Green Valley area there in Kayan. St. Kitts will rise again. Believe it or not, all of you naysayers out there that want to destroy this beloved island, we will continue to rise. Let me say good evening to a few folks online. Sorry for not doing that earlier, but as you know, when the program gets rolling, we just have to stay up with the beat of things. I want to say good evening to my engineer there, Brother Ike. Thanks for your years of service. contributing to keeping this platform going. This coming November 8th will make 4 years since we are here. Remember, this platform started just for a little 14 days while in quarantine in 2020 to keep me busy, but you, the online viewers, demanded that I continue with it, and we are 4 years in the making. So I want to thank you for your continued support and coming every Wednesday evening royally. Let me say good evening to Sister Veronica Roberts. How are you doing? Sister Ruthlyn Hill. Good evening. Sister Annette Morton. How are you doing? Avril Dickinson. Brother Thaddeus Deposo. How are you doing? My brother Oral Jeffers. Oral Joseph, sorry. Veronica Roberts. Rhonda Brown. Evan Jeffers. Tara Libert, how are you doing? How are the folks in Toronto? Dave Warner. Sandra Griffin David. Margaret Taylor, good evening. Adessa Door, Bennett Taylor. Debbie John, how are you doing, sister? How is the man, Lord Ken? Oh, brother Kent is doing okay. Elizabeth Zakers. Livingston Brown, good evening. Welcome to the ride. Pauline Swanston. Brother Chessel Watson. Pat Brooks. Vicky Hazel. Monica Brown. Nelta Robinson. Ricky Brandy, good evening. Welcome. Sayan Francis. Nora Jane Mills, how are you doing? Welcome to the ride. Jack Wheat. Lioness Charles, how are you doing? My movements there in the Bronx, New York. Judith Rollins, good evening. Welcome. Carol Pemberton, Benjamin, good evening. Brother Rambo Webster, how are you doing? Brother Williams, how are you doing? Hazel Claxton, good evening. How are you doing? Sister Hope all is well. Justin Hazel, Enoch Smithen, welcome. Oren Webb, Austin Webb, sorry, how are you doing? Velma Merchant, CMCM, in Farrell, Justin Hazel, good evening. Damian Jeffrey, Sister Cora Bennett, good evening. How are you doing? Thanks for your usual support. Mona Davis, Kevin Hamley, good evening, my brother. How are you doing? Bertram Farrell, Roland Archibald, Brother Ike Ennis, Shanna Barnes, how are you doing? Welcome to the ride. Brother Jeff Pemberton, how are you doing? Good evening. Centric Daniel. Ted Watts, welcome to the ride. Jermaine Anthony. Brother Luther Kelly, how are you doing? How is the honorarium going for this weekend? Sister Beverly Marish, good evening. Sister Deetra Smith Farrell, how are you doing? Sophia Warner. Cara Alice, Linston Isaac. Fanny Herbert, Deborah Jeffers. Angela Zakers, welcome to the ride. Cian Lewis, Linda Clark, Brother Elphys Williams, how are you doing, Brother King Freddie? Hope all is well with you. The man Mean Green, Green Tea. Larnett Somerset, how are you doing? Hope all is well. Gemini Nisbet, Brother Rebecca Bass, the man DJ Lincoln. Hope all is well. Monica Batcher, Ketishan King. Hope all is well. Sister Celine Tobias, how are you doing? Welcome to the ride. My mascot there, Sister Dorothy Allen, how are you doing? Hope all is well. Julian Pemberton. Zaritas Kamal Bell, how are you doing? Casey King. Courtney Queeley, welcome to the ride. Livingston Brown. Brother George Nisbet, somewhere around the world. Claudette Garvey, Evan Jeffers, how are you doing? Sandro Merritt. Naya Bagnall, Sebastian Williams, how are you doing, my brother? You're in Connecticut. Take it easy. Say hi to my girl, Etty, for me there. Oral Francis, Elvis Marisha, Clayton Davis, Eskin Nisbet, Mighty Pat, how are you doing? Hope all is well. Welcome to the ride. Steve Mills, Mackie Taylor, Larry Lescott, the man Jerome Vanterpool, aka the King Ranger. How are you doing? Sylvia Ward, Alden Warner, the man Adrian Berry, Tony Berry, Diane Mitchum, Mark Doe, Colleen Manners, Joseph Brooks, Margaret Skeet. You guys know I can't keep up all of these names right tonight, right? I'm gonna have to just skip over some of them. Maureen Phillip, Nikita Brown, Marlene Cross, Sonia Douglas, Brother Steve Mills, Teresa Irish, Angela Zakers, Owen the Skelton, Hila Brown, how are you doing, my brother? Brother Ken Gozov, Brother Kent, how are you doing? Samantha Jeffers, Brother Malcolm Poole, welcome. Cromwell Henry, how are you doing? Welcome to the ride, brother. Mauricia Saran, the man, Brother Rollins there. King Wusi, how you doing? Hope all is well. And Lawrence and Ford. Too many names to mention this evening, my people. Smelter Jeffers, Anthony Liberd, Brother George Morris, how you doing? Welcome to the ride. Ian Archibald, Everson Powell, welcome to the ride. Nigel Brown, Brother Elvin Ellie, how you doing? So good evening to the wife of me, sir. Hope all is well with you guys. Endurance Edwards, how you doing, sister? Hope all is well with you. Iona Doe, Susie Warner, Jetty Thomas, Anthony Edwards. These numbers are just running out. Can't call all the names of my good people. I just want to say thanks to everyone for logging on and coming out to say spend time with me here to keep the ball rolling. Now, you guys heard me spoke about a cousin there that passed away in the Virgin Islands, St. Thomas to be exact. Brother Desmond Morris, aka Bombi, Bombi Joe. Many of you would know him as Bombi Joe. His funeral going to be next week, Saturday. That's the 15th of June, and it's going to be there at the Hurley funeral home there at the across from Frenchtown. For those of you who might be familiar with the Frenchtown area there, right next to the cemetery there is the funeral home, formerly the Davis Funeral Home. It's now called Hurley Funeral Home. So the service will be there at Hurley Funeral Home. Viewing starts at 10 a.m. to 11, and the service starts at the 11 a.m. to 12. For those of you who love a good party following funerals, you know that my boy Shorty will be having things done over there at Victor's Hideout and St. Thomas. Now, Brother Desmond Morris, aka Bombi Joe, have a wealth of families here in St. Kitts Nevis, and more so in St. Paul's. Joycelyn Morris, Tinny Morris was his uncle. Tinny's brother Shorty Herbert Morris was Bombi's father. And we have Caroline Morris, his sister, who resides in St. Thomas. Carl Morris, there in St. Thomas. His wife, Valicia Morris, there in St. Thomas. Sister Patsy Brown, there in St. Thomas. The man Avon Brown, aka Saah, Maralf and Co. Etlin Cannonier Blyden. I am sorry I won't be able to make that funeral there across to St. Thomas due to the flight restrictions here to get to the Virgin Islands from St. Kitts. But I just want to wish you guys all the fun that can come from a funeral, because these days, for some people, they don't even go to see the dead or to hear the minister. They just want to have the drink up and stuff. There's also a funeral, family funeral in Anguilla as well, on the 17th of June, that's next Monday. Sister Sarah there, send condolences to the family of her son passing. That funeral will be in Anguilla. So I asked the family and friends who are on Anguilla to go and support Sinclair and the folks there next on the 17th. I will get some more information for next Wednesday in regards to that funeral, so that I can give more update on that particular funeral next week. Now, you guys have heard me spoke about the passing of my adopted dad, friend, counterpart, joined by the hip they call us, the man Alman Hutchinson, sorry, aka Jerry Carty, who passed away in Erdington, England, there, the Birmingham area, on the 6th of May. His funeral is scheduled to be on Wednesday, the 3rd of July, at the Ashton Parish Church in Witten Lane, Birmingham. The zip code is B6 6QA. That's Wednesday, July 3rd, at the Ashton Parish Church Witten Lane, Birmingham, B6 6QA. And the service started at 11:30 a.m. We look forward to seeing you folks. I know many of you in the UK has been reaching out to me, want to know the information, you want to support, and you want to know what date the DJ will be coming for the funeral. Well, for those of you who want to see the DJ, you will be at the funeral and you would see the DJ. The DJ will be there. Cannot let Jerry take his final drive without my presence. So I'll update you in any further information next Wednesday where that is concerned. Before we sign off, let me just bring you back to a little clip here. Let Carbo let you know what's taking place one more time, and we'll be getting out of here for this evening.
Carbo's, located at Fountain Village in Nevis, is the go-to spot for your Saturday treats. Tantalize your taste buds with his delectable Carbo's Delicacy Goat Water. Or, if you prefer some soul food, then Carbo's Fungi and Fish is definitely the way to go. Call ahead and reserve at 869-663-9694. Then make your way over to Carbo's and enjoy the vibrant atmosphere while you savor your delicacy. Carbo's, we are not changing, we are only improving.
Food all over. Food all over. You got the food all over.
Yes, food all over Nevis, food all over St. Kitts. So check out my boy Carbo in Fountain every Saturday for your goat water, your fungi and fish, your green fig and fish, whatever your delight, just give him a call in advance and he will definitely please you. Let him know DJ Marish sent you. Carbo also does delivery on the island of Nevis and even here in St. Kitts. So check him out. Let him know DJ Marish sent you. Let's take a listen to Sister Carmen as well of Carmen Caterers.
Girl Sanja, you know where you can find nice fresh local food 7 days a week, one provision and all kind of thing. Girl, where? Right down there by Shellings, by Carmen Catering Services. Girl, she opposite the bus stop. Girl, and she also cater for weddings, parties, anything you want to cater for, funeral and all. Girl, and trust me, you're gonna enjoy the food. And she also selling bites and sundaes. Opposite the car shop, right down the main road. Girl, you could call 665-1494 or 663-6005 to order your food or go and pick up your food. Girl, the food will be finger licking and you get your money worth. You ain't want nothing better than that.
That is for sure. Sister Carmen, a lovely chef, and I found out that not only Sister Carmen is a lovely chef, but she has her kids, a daughter and son who is also great chefs, and they compete against each other to come out with who is the best tasting food. I had the luxury of tasting a couple of the dishes and all of them basically very good. Hotel style food, nice. So check Carmen there at Sheer Lane in Bastille, across from the West Ferry Terminal there, Monday to Saturday from 12 noon till about 5. And you see her over there in Boyd's Village in the bus stop across from the Agawa shop. Just let Brother Everett know, give Marish a call. Let's come and have a hanging. Let's take a quick listen to my boy, Brother Malvern Gums of the Spectrum Band there in the St. Thomas Virgin Islands.
Hey, this is Malvern from Spectrum Band, and you're listening to DJ Marisha, playing you the best in Caribbean music.
That's right.
Hey, this is Malvern from Spectrum Band, and you're locked into DJ Marisha. Keep it locked.
Keep it locked every time. And don't forget, we have the good folks there at Island Purified Water in Newton Ground that keep the DJ hydrated while he's here in our beloved Federation. I want to thank Brother Powell and his team there at the Island Purified Water. Remember to support businesses that support you. And Brother Powell and his family have been a supporter of the communities, the schools, and many of the areas here and the Federation. So when you go there, just let them know DJ Marish sent you. I just also want to say good evening to my uncle there, the man, Uncle Joseph there at the Garvey's Estate, the Millhouse Guest House. Check out Uncle if you're looking for any weddings of fear, any party, you want to just take some pictures, you want to get a view. You just want to visit and have a chat. Uncle always up for conversation, has a lot of information about the old days and the UK, as he lived in the UK for some years. So check him out and let him know DJ Marish sent you. Or you can give him a quick call at area code 869-668-1392. That's 869-668-1392. Let him know DJ Marish sent you. And for those of you who might be looking for some clothing to go and party for school or whatever, check out Smart Fit. Sister Gloria Hutchinson right there at the old Simaco building on Central Street next to the Skelec. Let them know DJ Marish sent you. Also, there's a location on Kearn Street, just off 4th Street there, below the gas station. Check them out. My brother, Austin Williams, I understand he's celebrating birthday next Saturday, the 8th of this coming Saturday, as a matter of fact, the 8th of June. I want to wish him advanced birthday greetings. And his wife as well, Sister Laura Williams, has a store there in the TDC Mall. Check her out, let her know that DJ Marisha sent you, and everything should be nice and lovely. Don't forget to also check my boys there in the Frigate Bay area, Brother Michael Clark there at the Jamrock restaurant there and the Frigate Bay area. Let him know DJ Marisha sent you. Fine food, fine cuisine. And my brother there, Brother Marshall up the hill there, Marshall's lovely dinners. Check them out. Great hospitality, great food, great drinks, nice place to hang out if you just want to have a drink or you want to have dinner. Nice guys, well put together. Also want to say good evening to Sister Gwyneth Marish. How are you doing? Hope all is well. My son there, Jeff Roy Jr., over there in the LA area. How are you doing, son? How is Sister Jazz? Hope all is well. My daughter there, Sister Rochelle Marisha in the Ohio area. How are you doing? How is the grandkids? My sister Esther there in Tortola. And her husband Makish. How are you guys doing? How is the kids? Hope all is well. My uncle Eustace there in the St. Croix area. Hope all is well with you. Brother Desmond Hicks there in St. Croix as well. Sister Francil Warner, how are you doing? I see you was online. Sister Paul Francis, good evening. My cousin there, Brother Kent Benny, how are you doing? How is Sister Pam? Hope all is well with you guys. Well, you guys know that I cannot call all the names in one evening, and we are on overtime. I know this is the favorite part for my boy there, Brother Ivor Henry. He loves to see me going to overtime, but I'm not going to go much further than here, Ivor. I'm going to drop this ad, drop the unofficial anthem, and I'll be out of here. Again, as I said previously, I want to thank Sister Maud Skinner, Sister Bessie, and her sister there, Joycelyn, for allowing me the use of their facilities here to come live this evening, as there was no electricity there in St. Paul's. So stand by for the ad.
Wednesday evenings are heating up. Log on to DJ Marishall's Facebook Live broadcast every Wednesday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. It's a frank and candid exploration into the social, cultural, political, and economic issues affecting our federation. And just in case you missed it, you can also catch the broadcast on his YouTube channel, DJ Marishaw. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube and smash that bell. You will be notified whenever he goes live. DJ Marishaw, every Wednesday evening, Facebook 6 to 8 p.m. or thereafter on his YouTube channel, DJ Marishaw. Log on.
Yes, man. Every Wednesday evening from 6 to 8, you check me right here, and we will nice you up and give you the information live and direct from the press. No gimmicks, no tricks, no twisting, no spinning, just giving you the facts as we take it to you. Now I'm going to drop the unofficial anthem of the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis, my anthem, coming from the late, great, the King Arrow. This one is called Arise. And my good people, I know the music is sweet and people like Hazel Claxton, they jam to this one. The average Kittitian division will jam to this one. The young kids are jamming to this one, but I ask that you pay attention to the lyrics because our country needs us now more than ever. So just take a listen to this track, Arise. I want to big up my cousin there, my boy there, the man Sugars. How you doing? The man Twinkie, how you doing? Catherine, Louise, Mull, and everyone else there in the St. Paul's area. Brother Jason, brother.
Would you stand up and see your country dying and never lend a helping hand? Would you see your children's future dwindling, creating much disillusion? Or would we watch on idly, disregarding our self-sufficiency? Maladministration, wrecking all and no. I said no, not at all. Citizens, let's unite and stand up for rights, all our lives and our lives. Let us reintegrate and correct our mistakes. Reunification, building a brand new nation. We'll move on together hand in hand. Rise, citizens, arise. The country is yours, all yours, still yours. Would you assist building a wall so massive or a bridge? Don't care how small, as one tends to divide our people, the other unite us all. Unambitious men just cannot be a part of this community. Displaying selfishness, a total lack of interest. No, I said no, not at all. Citizens, let's unite and stand up for rights, all our lives and our lives. Let us reintegrate and correct our mistakes. Reunification, building a brand new nation. We move on together hand in hand. Rise, citizens, arise. The country is yours, all yours, still yours. land, building a brand new nation. We'll move on together hand in hand. So rise, citizens, arise, the country is yours, all yours, still yours.
Yes, my good people, and that is what we call a wrap for this evening, Wednesday, June 5th. Look forward to seeing you next Wednesday, same place, same time, 6 to 8 p.m. as we continue with more updates and the happenings here in our beloved